And guys aren't particularly picky either. If you're like,
I'm so picky, dude.
Are you?
I have like the highest standards for anybody I get involved with.
well, there
Are
you
you
go.
trying to get wifed up?
You should.
I think that now that my career's changing, like
Yeah.
I genuinely don't want anything to do with like just going on the road and like just hooking up with a bunch of girls. Like that has zero appeal to me.
Well,
It's just, dude. Regardless of how fun it could be, like that's an exhausting lifestyle, man.
yeah.
And
I know people
it
that
can
live like
only
that.
get you in trouble.
I know people that live like that.
Oh, of course. And they're like 50. And
well,
you're
the
like,
thing
man.
is, I'm in a relationship now. And the thing I have to remember is when I was single, I was still trying to actively not be like this.
Okay.
Like when I had the freedom to do whatever I wanted, I still was trying to be like, it's like, not even in a Christian way, but like it takes a little piece of you.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Does that make sense or not?
Along the
Absolutely,
streets.
dude.
Yeah. You
That's
go,
what it is.
If you go, man, I'm gonna, you worked hard, ate some vegetables, had a good show, was very kind to everybody, went to sleep, got up, and like got on the treadmill. You're like, dude, I feel great.
Absolutely.
Then you drink a little bit and you make some choices. You go, I'm not even saying like from a Christian, just like you go, I would not like to be like that.
Yeah.
That's it. Not like from it because God told me, but just like
it makes you feel like the best version of you. You feel productive.
Yeah, and that other way,
healthier.
like I guess I was lying a lot to women to hang out, or I was not being my true self. And that's what I always was like, I should have been more like.
But that in and of
honest.
itself is so exhausting. Like it takes energy, it takes
Exhausting.
time,
Yeah.
money sometimes.
Takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Sucks your soul out, someone said. I'm also just, I'm not out here just like sleeping with a bunch of girls. Like,
we never said that.
No, I didn't take it that way at all.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify for the public.
Look, he looks right to the camera. He's
Break
like,
the fourth wall. It's just not really my thing.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy meeting new people, and any person I get involved with like that, like I'm interested in having something long term with.
Yeah.
And whether or not that comes to fruition or not, that's that's up to our connection and how that works itself out.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think our job is like so chaotic, and it's very like there's no structure to our lives.
Zero.
So like I think having that person to kind of be that solidarity for you.
You're just otherwise you're just out here.
I need a person that's gonna like feel like home to me.
Yeah.
Because everything else is chaos.
And when you say, hey, like that weekend or like that Albany, New York was bad for me, or like it just. But if you have someone that knows the history of all the other ones, what a good one is, and when you say, yeah, they just didn't, that she knows what that means.
Yeah.
And you go, yeah. Otherwise, you're just like. Nobody can really understand. I don't feel like that's the best way to put it.
And that's so hard to find too, because like I don't necessarily want to date somebody in the industry, because like there's so many
another comic.
No. I just mean in entertainment in entertainment in general. Definitely not comedy. Probably not acting. Music I could do. That's different enough.
Yeah, we've discussed this already. The girl from Paramore.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still shooting my shot in just different subtle ways.
You gotta leave that door open
because like you need them to understand for stuff like that, but you also don't want them like too involved in it because you know how shitty it is.
Yeah,
you know?
And then if let's say like you get something. And they don't get it, or like what we're both trying to. Like if your album goes whatever, like, and then I have too.
They're jealous of it.
Yeah,
you're like, dude, come on. Like you're supposed to be like happy for me.
Two comics, I know several, and that's like,
I could never. I don't think I could date it.
Has that ever worked for anybody? Have you ever seen Segura and his wife?
Oh yeah. They're great, and their podcast is so good too.
Who's Hannah Berner dates a comic, right?
I don't know her too.
She's a comedian.
Everybody talks about her, and I've heard nothing but wonderful things. I just don't. I don't think I've met her.
She dates a comedian. Older. Yeah, they got married during COVID or something like
that. Rich Voss is also married to. Is it Bonnie McFarlane? I want to say.
Well, who's the Bonnie McFarlane? Who's the girl we were talking about last night that was like super attractive that was through Zanies? Remember we were talking about it in the green room, and she's like, but her like. It does, like we were talking about Louis C.K. He's like,
okay,
old. He's old, bald, like a little bit overweight. Like there's no other reason you're coming there except for jokes.
Yeah.
And it gets a little.
I do envy that.
Well, it just gets a little tricky because of your audience, I guess.
Yeah, and that all goes back to like yelling out, "Take off your belt." What is this obsession that people have with like trying to convince other people they're the best person who has ever lived, and they've never made a mistake, and all their opinions are popular? That's insane to me.
That's people
are so delusional with themselves.
Then I go, I don't say anything about. I go, I don't know what I'm talking about. Because the people that go, I go, I think this, but maybe also not this.
Yeah.
And I feel like your comedy, and I watched your special last night and the show. It's like, guys, I come in peace.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're like, hey, thanks so much for coming. I wish I could meet every one of y'all. I wish I could come to Christmas with your family. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't say that, but you go, that being said, let's have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
And I have no anger inside of me.
No, like I want all of us to feel like we're hanging out. You know what I mean? Like the epitome of like a comedy career for me would to be able to do the exact kinds of jokes for find an audience that feels like my best friends that I could shoot the shit with on the couch, say whatever crazy funny shit I want, because everyone understands this is a joke. This is all of our collective sense of humor and the stuff that we find funny.
And the girl that joke about like the wheelchair girl, like she was she was laughing, but it's anyone who like is offended at that joke is not in a wheelchair.
Absolutely.
And they're defending people in a wheelchair. I go, send it to them.
All the time.
Send it to them. I say that about my stuff all the time. Like, I can't believe you make fun of Mexicans or Catholics. And they're like, send it to them.
Oh, absolutely.
And they would be like, that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, dude. I had I had this chunk of my last hour that I ended up not putting in the special. Just for time restraints, and it was just like probably the most controversial part where I talked I talked more about like the trans gay community or whatever, and it was still very positive, right? But still jokes being told in there, and there's
about that topic.
I can't and I can't tell you how many shows I would be doing that material, and somebody would yell out and be like, "Oh, that's like homophobic or whatever," and somebody gay in the audience would go, "Shut up!"
Yes,
like you don't speak for us.
No,
and even the thing is, and this is gonna be so divisive. Any person in any group who still gets offended, even if you're talking about them, that's fine. You're totally in your right to get offended at a joke being told about you. But again, you don't speak for everybody.
No,
I can't tell you how many people who are maybe Hispanic will come up and be like, "Do more Mexican jokes, man. I was really waiting for more Mexican jokes."
Go after
us. Hey, tell everybody else that. Okay, you're making requests.
And speaking on behalf of white, usually women. Speaking on behalf of another race is, you don't see the irony in that? You're speaking for them. You go, they don't like it. Let them speak.
They don't have a voice? That's insane to me.
It's wild, dude.
It's the new Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, the new Christopher Columbus. Oh, really? Gosh.
We'll take that.
Well, I will say, and you impressed me so much because, and I know you probably get this a lot, but like being a clean comic is so hard, dude. I literally could never do it, and I took the complete opposite turn.
You could do it.
I know. I tried in the younger years of my career. I was like, let me be at least like TV friendly, And then it just didn't happen for the longest time. So I literally got to a point where like in comedy, I don't care about offending anybody because everyone's always going to complain about something, and you're not going to.
They complain about me. So you go, oh, there's no,
Yeah, you
just don't fit in their box.
No, I at this point, my goal is just to like, there's gonna be people who don't like me. There's gonna be people who find me wildly offensive.
Yeah,
but that's gonna happen regardless. So how about I just try to find my people?
And if somebody loves, let's say they saw one bit about something, came to your show, mine the same. Or I got a girl that loves the show, brings her friend, and she goes, "Man, not for me." That's fine.
Yeah.
We can, hey, good to see you. I went to the show, not for me. I like whoever. Fine. I was at a show. I've told this story before. Sarah Silverman was at Zany's, who I like Sarah Silverman. I thought as a Christian, she said a joke to me that was across the line.
Interesting.
And I just left. And I didn't write a blog. I didn't go
you just went,
at Sarah. I go, but
this isn't my interaction.
And that's what you're saying. You're allowed to not like you.
Totally.
If you say, I'm Matt Rife, not for me.
Yeah.
Awesome. You don't get to, but I was at the Sarah Silverman show. Everyone else was dying laughing. So I go, for them, you can't say she's not funny.
No.
Because she is to them.
No, because comedy it's an opinionated art. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to have a perspective on it. And no matter what it is, you're right. If you think I'm funny, you're right. If you think I'm not funny, you're right.
So it's
totally okay.
You're allowed to say that. Yeah.
Of course.
Now getting on and saying, who was it that said, like, what planet do you live on? Do you think you deserve to live a life where you're not offended?
Yeah. Like, you watch a lot of Ricky Gervais?
Maybe that was it.
No, me too. I love him.
Where'd you think you were allowed to? So everything that this other person who grew up different than you was raised different, a different set of values.
Yeah.
So you think you're going to go to his show and he's going to fit into your values?
That's insane. That's the really cool thing about performance, and for comedy and for music as well, is like you're performing for hundreds to thousands of different personalities.
Yeah.
What are the odds, you walk outside and you meet 2,000 people with the exact same sense of humor you do? That's incredibly hard to find.
Impossible.
Right? Exactly. So that's what you're trying to bring to your show. You're trying to make 2,000 different personalities and different senses of humor come together and like what you like. It's a hard thing to do. If a joke hurts your feelings, you've never been for real bullied, dude. You never have. Because like a joke is a joke. You ever have someone say something that sounds like a joke, but they're serious?
Dead serious.
Yeah. That hurts.
Yeah, that hurts bad.
Yeah. And people should know from comics, 99% of the time, even if we're saying something that sounds like we're being serious, we're probably not.
And if the worst, I remember our high school principal said, because everybody, there's a lot of people bullying each other in high school. And he's like, the only thing worse than this is being ignored. That they're like, if you like Bert Kreischer or whoever one of our buddies was, that you're like, I know enough about Bert to roast him.
Yeah.
Or like people doing impressions.
That's a very good point.
People doing impressions of Theo Vaughn, right? Because we've ingested enough of Theo that you go, hey, like we make jokes all the time about different, like we do a lot of NASCAR jokes, and you go all the drivers, and the small third tier drivers are like,
there's tiers.
Yeah, like drivers that don't have enough money to like win.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, that's a real thing. Yeah, dang. But you go, hey,
inside scoop.
You go, hey, put me in put me in like the roast. I go, we don't know enough about.
Yeah,
I know, really, and
that's relevant.
That's when when it like hurts the most.
That's going back to what we were talking about earlier with the fans being like, oh, I hope he roasts me. It's like, well, sometimes there's nothing to roast about you. Sometimes there's nothing interesting about you, really.
But if
not in a mean way. It's just sometimes you're a regular person. But you ever do some crowd work and they're like, where do you work? And you're like, where do they work? And they're like, I work a family restaurant or whatever. Like, all right, well, what about the wife? Stay at home mom. You're like, cool, wholesome ass family. Got it.
Why
did funny about it?
But if somebody's wearing something or looking like somebody's wearing like a sleeveless shirt in the front, you're like, I got it.
Exactly.
I'll just log this for later.
Of course, something sparks your interest. Yeah. You can't force it.
Yeah, and that's what the like rednecks, or you would call like Southern or like the NASCAR type. These people are like good with jokes.
Yeah,
they're like, I'm wearing jean shorts and a mullet because I'm in on it.
Yeah,
I'm like, you roast me, but like, there's some people like, it's not fun. I'm like, no, it is.
Yeah, I really like this outfit. I picked this out for a special occasion.
Yeah, he knows.
Like, why are you taking it so serious, man?
Relax.
The best thing for me is like when my group of friends and I are like about to like go out for a night or something, and we all meet up to head out together, and you get there and you see everyone's outfit, and you're like, wow, somebody's wearing something ridiculous, and,
like, really,
and they sit there, they take it. You're like, okay, let them have. But can you imagine being friends with someone who you can't make jokes about their outfit?
That's
or
tough.
something.
Yeah, you'd stop inviting them.
Yeah, you'd be like, come on,
dudes
man.
are better at that. Dudes they're like, come on. Like we were talking that if our biggest red flag that our security watches for at our meet and greets is a woman by herself.
Interesting.
So a woman alone is like, hey, like, because the girl goes, I'm rolling solo tonight. So if same thing switched, if you were going to the Paramore meet and greet with your buddy,
if
you were doing something out of pocket, he'd be like, dude,
Yeah.
Or like putting cologne or what it doing, or like I wrote her a note. You'd be like, dude,
yeah,
he would roast you because guys don't like, they don't go, dude, I'm going to wait in the car. I'm not participating in this.
No, they would be brutally honest.
If you had a note, or if I was with a guy and I was in that situation, I would try to sneak it to the girl without my buddy knowing.
Oh yeah, you could not.
He would go back to the group and crush you for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. You know, you cried in line, right? Like you would roast your friend to no end
forever. He's like, no, but I feel like a connection with her for me. What?
Yeah. Oh, that's
dude. What?
Dude, anytime I even like a girl and I start to tell like one of my friends you met last night. Every time I'm like, yeah, man, I think we were like really good. He'd be like, oh, here we go. And I'm like, no, dude, I do. And she's like, shut up, dude. They never let you have any fun, man.
Dude. You ever gotten a pushback from other comics?
Like comics not like me?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
For like, I've been doing comedy 12 years, so for 11 and a half of them, I would say so. Yeah, dude.
I thought it'd be the opposite. The 11 and a half, they were good, and then you got on top, and then they hit. It was the opposite?
When I was really young, like 15 through 18, everyone liked me because I was like a little kid, dude. I was just fucking noogieing me in the hallway and shit.
You come through the club.
But then, like, once I become like a young adult, and I'm like, now I'm competing for stage time. Now I'm competing for audition spots. Now, I don't know if it's am I considered a threat? I don't know what it is, but people don't like me all the time, dude.
Really?
Like, yeah, but I get it.
A comic's below you, never a comic above you.
Well, there's who was talking? It was probably like a Rogan quote or something like that. I have to remind myself all the time, like, people who hate on you are never doing better than you.
Never.
Nobody better than you ever looks down and go, oh, you're still a piece of shit. And if they do, they're a real piece of shit.
They wouldn't. Yeah.
And I totally get it. A lot of it comes from jealousy. Anytime I've ever hated on somebody, I immediately followed up with, I go, I know I'm jealous of this person. Yeah. I know. I can't help it, unfortunately. Yeah. Everybody's jealous of somebody at some point.
It shows a mirror to you kind of somewhat. And you go, yeah, because if like, they go, we don't like this guy. I feel like the viral or algorithm or whatever door that I walked through in 2018, what am I going to walk through it and close it behind me? Yeah. I walked through the same door, the exact same door, and nobody was like, I was doing shows, dragging 2 things of merch myself.
Yep.
And nobody cared about me. And then I walked through this door, and then other people have walked through the door, and I'm like, he doesn't. Like, I'm a video guy. That's like the criticism of like, oh, he's not a real comic. And I was like, I've been doing stand up in the clubs for 10 years. And then they go, oh. And I think that's because we were all, Matt, he's like, they were looking at, obviously you sold out 9 shows. And then Brian Dorfman goes, wait, Matty Rife? And we go, yeah. He goes, his dad was bringing him in here, or something. His mom was bringing him in here when is your grandpa from the special. Really?
Yeah.
Was bringing him in here when he was 15. And I go, oh.
Yeah. Dude,
like, oh, he's not like a good-looking guy that came out of nowhere that popped off, that never did stand-up before. And then you come to the show, it's like, oh, this guy knows his way around a microphone. Because the guys that don't know their way around a microphone, you can tell.
You can tell. Yeah. You go, oh, shit, you got ticket sales before you learn how to do stand-up.
You want to do a Q&A?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Music go, hit it. It's like all the veterans of like the league, and like LeBron is like touted out of high school, and we're going to shut this guy down.
Yeah.
Just because you want the other person to have worked like you do.
Of course.
I guess.
But often they did, and you don't even know about it.
Yeah. Or
just because you didn't have the eyes on you. How long were you doing stand up before the internet stuff?
Like 11 years.
Exactly. Same, dude. April is 12 years for me. So really? for 11 and a half years, it was, dude, this time last year, I couldn't sell 100 tickets at a show.
That's exactly the same thing happened to me.
And I was doing the same show you saw on the special. And if you think it's a good show, it's like, okay, so it was a good show, right? It's not like my talent massively changed in 6 months, you know?
Yeah.
It's just accessibility. That's all.
And you're like, oh, what is like, I always say, like, Louis or Bill Burr and, let's say, polar opposite, Larry the Cable Guy.
Okay.
They're wildly different. I bet they would both be like, they have to. You're like, hey, selling arenas? Me too. That's tough, isn't
there's
it?
A certain level of respect.
Hey, ticket sales, selling tickets is hard, isn't it? It's stressful. You got to be on the road and Good to see you.
There's a certain level of respect. Well. You don't have to like it. You don't have to think they're funny. You don't have to go, you don't even have to say that's a good stand-up to me. But you go, you know what? He appeals to enough people. Enough people think he's funny. And that's ultimately all that matters.
And you know what? I want to be selling arenas.
Yeah.
So,
of course. There's a certain level. I mean, even people like the Paul brothers, like Jake Paul and Logan Paul. I don't have any respect for them creatively.
Okay.
But as a businessman, I go, I know you work hard.
You
have to.
That's it.
Even sustain this level you're at right now, you work hard, and I respect that.
As we do this because we have a video guy at all of our shows. If you like, and me and Trevor Wallace have talked about this sometime, not like clip harvesting, but you're like, oh, we got one.
Oh yeah.
And then you like, I feel like I just like play around there longer than I normally would. Cause you're like, the guy goes, I'm from South, and you're like, and he's doing something wild, and there's a huge pop.
Yeah.
You go, normally at a show, if there's no cameras on, I would mess around with him and then I would move on.
Yeah.
Then I go, oh, this one, we posted one yesterday. There was like these ladies that were like adoptive moms, and there was 4 moms. They've all adopted kids from different countries. And the one girl adopts a boy from Kansas. And I go, can you do that? Like, and we just roasted her. I go, hey, all these other women are making fun of you behind your back because you're like, it's so tough with the Kansas. I go, and I played around in that for probably 6 minutes. But normally I would just like hit on it and move on. But I'm thinking in my head, the cameras are going.
Yeah, how much can I squeeze out of it?
I got one, and I probably got a big one. Do you do that or no?
I wonder if I do.
Maybe subconscious.
It could be subconscious,
Trevor
but I also love crowd work. Like I was doing it long before I was needing to clip it up for the Instagram. It's a fun thing for me.
You've always been doing it, really?
I've always done it. It's so fun for me. Yeah. And I love diving. And again, this was a subconscious thing I didn't even realize I was doing, but like my friends who opened for me would point it out because we were trying to figure out like what makes my crowd work different from like a lot of other people's on TikTok or whatever. And because
there's other crowd work on TikTok?
Unfortunately.
I haven't seen any. Yeah.
Like so
tough.
A lot of it's very basic. Where you from?
Yeah.
What's your name? Oh, you got a silly hat on. Yeah. End of story, right? Yeah. And they're like, you have like actual questions. Like you kind of like you dive into who they really are. You get to know them as a story a little bit. So like that's not something I was doing.
Does that too. Well.
Exactly.
He does it well.
He's so good at it. And I think that's when you get the most truthful stuff out of it, and you get the stuff that's not surface level that nobody expected to happen.
There's no way.
If somebody's wearing a crazy outfit, it's like, cool, that's a 30-second roast. The people were like, somebody's probably dressed like a disco ball.
Look at this guy.
Something's gonna happen.
That,
you know?
every comic could do that.
But were you at the show last night where the dude was 21 but he looked 43?
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing where you dig in and you're like, hold, I got questions
What's going on here. Yeah. I mean, but it comes from it just comes from a place of general sincere, very playful,
genuine curiosity.
Sometimes you go, oh, this guy's trying to hurt this guy. I've seen that. I don't want to mention any names, but I've seen like some piece of crowd work. I was like, oh, this gives me like a bad feeling.
Yeah.
It's like the words were funny, like the punchlines are funny, but I feel like that guy came to laugh and is dealing with his own stuff and laughing. I don't love the way this made me feel.
No, there's a bunch of them. I've seen
lots of them.
I've seen some comics where it's like every single one of the crowd works is like them getting heckled for the set not going well.
Yeah.
And then the reaction, the crowd work is literally just them snapping. And then that gets millions of views.
Comedian
like,
owns heckler.
If anything, I think you lost in that moment.
You might have taken the L on that one.
Yeah, man. But you make it funny, dude. Yeah. That's your responsibility. Or move on from it.
And then I could see people, I mean, I think your hashtag is over 1 billion views. So that's not even you.
Is it really?
I think so. You can look on TikTok. Go to the TikTok.
You had a screen this whole time?
Hey, dog.
You had a cheat sheet over my shoulder this whole time?
We were talking about before we came in here. We talked about all that before you came in here.
I was like, wow, John really did his research.
Please. You might not be able to see it on there.
Just hashtag Matt, right?
Could you see? Yeah, you can't probably see it on the.
I don't think I've ever seen the website version of TikTok.
Yeah, it's a weird side of it.
Yeah, let me see. So that's mine.
Yeah, that's at 35 million. Jesus.
Let me see. Yeah, the Matt right here. Look at this right here. This says Matt Rife comedy.
Yeah, it doesn't show the same thing.
Here, I have it on my phone. Here, I have it on my phone. 1.8 billion. I have it it shows on my phone. But you go, so what I'm saying is there's a difference between seeing it, and Theo would say the same thing. I only have my whole following is 7 million or something like that, but across all of them. You need someone to see it and be compelled. It has to give them the feeling to go, they share it. And you have people making up TikTok that are not even, they're not sharing your stuff. They're just copying and taking it.
My For You page and YouTube and Instagram is me from other people's things. I'm like, this is insane. Nothing's more aggravating, I will say.
My For You page is me is a wild thing.
The worst part is For You. Somebody will post a video of the video I posted and they get more views than I do. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
Matt Rife has the You page. We got the For You page.
It's just a mirror.
Yeah, sure, it was a little weird, but on the net, it was a positive. It was a positive. You cannot be serious. On the net, it's a positive.